Yo, what's going on? It's Shane187 kicking it with you because you're kicking with me. And we got JCKAY here, Quantum Truth JCKAY, the one and only psychic. She's a clairvoyant. Let's see what's going on. We're in the middle of a live. It's actually still live at the moment. 1,060 people here in a little chat room. I wonder what she's saying. I've rewinded a little bit behind, so let's just see.
I developed my own. I gained what I could from it. I got to learn the energy and healing and that side of it.
Yeah.
And now I just basically, in cooperation with my light language stuff that I get, I use that.
So you've been doing the light language too. See, I was like, I'll tell you what, Joanne's light language, when I listen to her, my head goes, ooh, like that, I feel it. Yeah. I've been doing it lately, but I do it privately. I actually sit and I watch the sun and I get amazing stuff, and I have sent healing to people through that, but I don't. I think I'll ever do it publicly.
What?
No.
Did she just say something like she gets it from the sun and then she sends it? Did she send it out on Wi-Fi or like SMS service or maybe email? What did she do? Send them a little booklet on how to fix your life. I think she's a counsellor too.
I was in a course and Blue Star Healing course that I was doing, and we were doing channeling courses, and I was talking light language.
Right.
And one of the times when I recorded it, and the guy said to me, he says, "You don't just talk one language."
Yes, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. I do one that sounds Chinese, and then there's another one that sounds Native American. And then, and then I had another one that sounded Hawaiian.
I don't think he was going to say that. I think he was going to say something else, like telekinetic thoughts. And then she jumped in and she's like, yeah, and I've got a friend that speaks bloody Chinese, and I've got a friend that speaks Indian. Oh my God, sorry about that, guys. Sorry I had to put that voice on you. I will never do it again. I was just trying to imitate JCKAY, the one and only extraordinaire.
Sounded Hawaiian. Yeah, I've done a few different.
Yeah, I can do it too. This is my Indian accent. It's not very good.
And it wasn't until a lot of when you came up with the tree stuff that just sent me off. That was like
the tree.
Yeah, got it.
The
tree. Yes.
Well, that I have to thank Mark for that, because whenever I used to get really.
What happened with the tree? What happened with the tree? Do I want to find out what happened with this tree? Mark introduced her to the tree. I wonder what's going to happen.
Not okay. He'd say, go hug a tree. He'd go sit with your back against the tree. And I was like, he goes, just talk to it. And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, just go and talk to the tree. And then one day I listened to him and I did it. And I was like, it talked. I was like, okay, I heard it. Because once you've got that clairaudient ability and you're tapped into nature, it's there. And this is what they're.
I bet ya. Mark said, go talk to the tree. All right. And Mark went around to the tree. He either did one of two things. He either hid behind the tree and said, JCKAY, this is the tree. I don't know. Or another thing, Mark may have hidden a little walkie-talkie in the bushes right next to the tree and pretended he was the tree that way. The last time I was sitting by a tree, the only way the tree would have talked to me is if I had imagined it. Maybe I've got clairvoyant abilities. Maybe I should start charging.
They're trying to block with Wi-Fi. This is what the trees say, that all that Wi-Fi frequency, that interference is trying to block I think it's trying to block our brain from receiving
Well, what was
the messages
interesting,
from nature. Yeah.
It's just,
you were saying before,
it's like she just did a reading. Receiving messages from nature. Yeah, that's what it was. Come on.
on the YouTube is that we're in like a dome type thing, and my 10-year-old actually said to my wife driving down near Greystanes Way and says, "Look, mummy, look, can you see it?" Looks up in the sky and he says, what do you mean? What do you see?" He says, "Oh, it's like a mesh. It's like a grid, like in the sky." And I got him to draw it, and it was like
I think her head is going to fall off. It just looked like it was going to fall off. It looked like a doll when you rattled it.
these hexagonal sort of like a chain wire
Yeah,
netting.
it is. Yeah.
He says, "Yeah, but it's
Yeah, I got the same view when I was in jail.
like that anymore."
It's not.
He actually said it, and he said, "Oh,
yeah, it's
okay.
not. I saw it broken away. So years ago, and even, you know, that, I'm not allowed to say the word because we'll get shut down.
That
You know,
place,
JCKAY, the place in Cuba. When I did that remote view, I didn't mention this in the thing because it was like I got the way I wrote out what I saw was like an encoded message, but I saw a grid in the thing because it was like I got the way I wrote out what I saw was like an encoded message, but I
on the YouTube is that we're in like a dome type hexagonal sort of like a chain wire netting.
It is. Yeah.
He says, "Yeah, but it's not like that anymore."
It's not.
He actually said it, and he said, "Oh,
yeah, it's
okay.
not. I saw it broken away. So years ago, and even, you know, that, I'm not allowed to say the word because we'll get shut down.
That
You know,
place,
JCKAY, the place in Cuba. I didn't mention this in the thing because it was like I got the way I wrote out what I saw was like an encoded message, but I saw a grid over it very clearly. It was a grid,
yeah,
and they were locked in. So they were almost like in a dome within a dome, right? But they were really locked into it. And I suspect that whatever that security thing they've got going there, which is all it's a type of technology that locks them down there. It's so that when they do execute someone
their
who
soul
is
doesn't
evil, yeah,
it
it
gets
doesn't leave.
reincarnated back in.
Yeah.
It doesn't allow the proper process of the soul to the upper levels to then be able to be let the soul work itself out. You know, like
That's right.
it's like you get that. You know, they say or they call it purgatory in some cases and others, but it's like
And
a
they
place
call it
where
samsara.
they they get to reevaluate their soul, what they did, and what they're going to
Yes.
do next. But yeah, it's a way of trapping that in and
Yes.
forgetting what we actually when they come down what they did the last time. So they got to go through the whole process.
That's right.
again.
We're according to Dolores Cannon from her work, she said we're the only civilization where we have amnesia when we come back in. So
Yeah, I believe
whereas
that.
so this definitely tells us that we are here without our consent. Like they trick us by saying we consented, but they actually took our free will away. And this is just we'll just call it the dark, okay? Because there's dark and light, and that's just how this world operates, this world of duality. This is how I've and that. So people have asked me, okay, so you said reincarnation is stopped now and it doesn't exist. No, it does.
It's just changed.
It's just that you have a choice to leave now.
Yeah.
So that's part of that 4D crumbling, that matrix system crumbling, is that, and we're making these little, it's still held together very, you know, because of everyone's consciousness is still making it real, but it's crumbling, and the controllers, as far as reincarnation goes, you're not tricked into coming back here. You'll have a choice. Should I come back in? There'll still be souls that choose to get incarnated in.
What is she promoting?
In this dimension for one reason or another. There are many of us who've come in here from the outside. I'm one of them. I know.
She's creating confusion to conquer in this duality world. She's unbelievable.
But I've
I know
been in
you.
here for a very long time. I've been in here for a very, very.
So you don't give a shit in this world because you want to go to the next world when all you're going to come back to when you're reincarnated is back to this shitty world that you never fought for.
very long time, but that was my choice and but I did get caught up. See, this is the problem.
Because we're going through there's a big change in the world dynamics at the moment. You can see that with the vaccine, things like that. Then you got these people that are pushing it. I mean, it's just confusion and conquer.
I don't want to talk too much because I want you to talk, but this is the problem, is that we are the amnesia makes this process take a long time, because if we did remember,
we would be. This is the dilemma I've had in my thoughts lately. Is that, like, if we all knew, even just the simple fact that if we all knew that we were reincarnated, we would think twice about what we do. We would,
because of the karmic.
If we knew we had a past life and what we did in that past life, we wouldn't go and do the same stupid thing again.
Yeah, I know, exactly. And that's...
I'm pretty sure most people think that we're reincarnated. No one's ever successfully reincarnated and come back and said, hey, I've reincarnated myself. I'm sure a lot of people do believe that reincarnation exists. I'm sure majority of people.
That's why our ascension process has taken so long as a collective. This is thousands of years. From what I intuited, I can't prove this. However, I have a friend who knows a lot about Gnosticism and Jewish Gnosticism and stuff. And she says a lot of what I'm picking up on is written in, their Jewish texts.
Jewish texts.
I did a remote view and I never got to pursue it because I got interrupted. I never got to pursue what that was, but I should tell you all. I was trying to go back to the time when the dome was created, okay? And I wanted to know how long ago it was. Now, funnily enough,
I used my imagination and I imaginated when I was back at the time when it was first created. Of course I did. Of course I did. All right? I'm telling you, I did.
It wasn't that long ago. It was like 6,000 years ago or so.
Only 6,000 years ago. All right? Maybe if it was like 6,001 years ago, then that would be a long time ago. 6,000, hey, that's like 3 lifetimes. Come on.
Now, do you remember when they used to laugh to creationism and all of that in the Bible, and all the people that were going, oh, the world is only 7,000 years old? I actually think it's not the world, it's the structure of this particular reality.
Well,
is
that
only
whole
that long,
movie,
right? And that's why you've got to...
They're not pushing any godly views. They don't believe in a godly force. They're talking about the Matrix. Talking about like a computer program. We're a computer program. Who knows what they're pushing, but it's definitely confusion and conquer.
These ancient giants and remnants of them, but this is from before we got trapped in this particular, this particular sort of world. But I saw a giant in this remote view, and it was so real. Like, it wasn't like a movie CGI. I was there remote viewing this world, this land, and it was...
Because it was your imagination. What do you think you were actually walking in a land and you seen a monster and it wasn't... Could have been, what's them 3D glasses? I can't think of the names.
Ancient names. And the whole, what would you call it? The terrain and all of that was quite... Well, the terrain was very lush. There seemed to be this misty sort of moisture in the air. And there was normal people, and they weren't dark skinned in this particular village. They were just like light skinned, olive.
You racist!
There were various coloring hair. They were wearing furs, like animal furs, cover themselves. And this giant, he was huge. I mean, he would have been, I would say, let's think, my ceiling's about 3 meters. I'd say about 4 or 5 meters tall. Okay.
It took her like fucking 10 minutes. Nah, good
and
5 seconds to think of that answer.
Head, it was kind of a bit elongated. But I could see him as strong, and he was strong as anything, and ripped, like really muscular, and he had like this fur loincloth thing. And
sounds like she had an LSD out front of any major city where they have big concrete statues, and she's popped some sort of LSD or magic mushroom or something like that, all wandering around a major town, and she's looked up and she's like, oh my god, there's a bloody 5-meter person, and he's looking like this, and you were tripping hard, and he was going, oh. He was dancing, he was trying to jiggy with it.
And he just grabbed a goat, grabbed it like he was going to eat it, and then he grabbed a woman, young lady, and
I'm your boy Shane187, checking out the content from JCKAY. Yeah, like, subscribe, and share. No, you don't have to share, but like and subscribe, please, and comment.